Okay, well, hello, everybody. I am Debbie Guy-Geesh. I am the Chief Strategy Officer for the Pedowitz Group. And one of the things that I love to do more than anything else is actually talk to our customers. So I am joined today by Kevin Young, who is the CMO at an incredible company called Tracelink. If you're in pharmaceutical supply chain and when they go public, you want to make sure that you get some of that stock because they're changing how supply chain is defined and executed in the pharmaceutical world. So we've had the pleasure to work with Kevin and his team probably for about 6 months now. And so, Kevin, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, Debbie, my pleasure.
When we came in and began to work with you guys were on a serious journey of transformation. And so when you think about a lesson learned that you might share with some other CMOs and other marketing teams going through that kind of transformation, what would be a lesson learned from working with TPG?
Yeah, it's a very good question. We made a big pivot. So we were in a world of compliance sales and selling things that people had to buy with a deadline. And we're moving to a world of value-based selling and upselling value-based solutions. And we need a marketing team that can operate in this way, that can be a leader in generating leads and building the pipeline and becoming a revenue engine. And a couple of thoughts, actually. I think having a partner on the journey is very important. I think it's harder than you think to make this sort of a change. I think that was something that we learned, and it was invaluable having you and the team from Pedowitz there with us, helping us. And the journey for us started because we knew we needed to be able to scale. And so we decided to build a marketing operations center in India. And so we brought you in to help us really figure out how to operationalize that center in India. But we pretty quickly realized that our needs were bigger than just an operations center. We needed a new way to think about demand generation and to execute demand generation, and we needed to do it at the highest levels. And you really helped us bring in that process and that thought and that best practice for the team, and you coached everybody and helped everybody. But I think the second takeaway for me is having the right team members is a very important thing, and bringing on some people from within the team too who've got this expertise becomes very important as we operationalize and as we go forward and have to work on our own.
And so as far as working with the Pedowitz Group, how do you think we helped inform your strategy for your team and what they needed to do moving forward into this new business model?
Yeah, I mean, you really worked with us from the start. We didn't have a plan. We knew what we needed to be, but we didn't know how to get there. And you really helped us map out that plan, and we took it across the entire operation, right? Starting with how do you define a marketing program and what do campaigns look like? And how do you develop campaign strategies and campaign documents? How do you define a persona so that you know who you're actually trying to reach? Your team helped us optimize and look at our website and optimize that for lead generation. You helped us craft and define an inbound demand gen strategy where we had been very outbound and very push focused. I can't remember how many emails that we had sent last year, but it was an ungodly number. We were the email machine, and you helped us really round out our capabilities. So now we're a full functioning, marketing group using every channel there is rather than just one.
We often work with clients when they're in that age of transformation, and we always talk about how one of the things that we do is we help you condense the time to value. So where do you think you would be right now if you had not hired the Pedowitz Group and had tried to do this organically instead?
Well, we'd be in big trouble. And I'll tell you why we'd be in big trouble. Because going into the year, we thought we had a pretty long horizon to transition. And we really thought that this was going to be a kind of a slow transition year. And of course, like always in these sorts of situations, that long deadline that we thought we had moved way up. And of course, we were in the first quarter, and suddenly there was this massive pressure to build a world-class program and start filling the top of the pipeline now, not at the end of the year. And so we would have been stuck. We would have been really struggling to make it work. And, the nature of our business, the way we used to operate versus the way we are operating now and going to operate going forward, the things that we have done traditionally in the past would just not be that effective in the place that we need to go. And so I'll tell you right now, we would struggle. We would struggle in the second quarter. We would struggle in the third quarter. And by the time we got this figured out on our own, it would have been very bad, because I think we would have lost a lot of credibility as a marketing team within the organization.
And one of the things that I will let everybody know is that, Kevin was leading this huge transformation because they had a big change in their business model at Tracelink. But also, he has a team of people who are hungry, they are curious, and they all want to do better. So, when you're working with a team like that, it really is much easier to get things done. So one last question. If a CMO called you and they said, Kevin, I'm thinking about hiring the Pedowitz Group, what would you tell them and why?
Yeah, I would say I would have no hesitations. Of course, I would want to know why they were asking and what direction they wanted to go with you. But the Pedowitz Group has got such a wide set of skills and such a wide set of expertise. And for us, it was great for two reasons, because you helped us define a strategic approach, and we needed a strategy. But then you also helped us with the execution, and I thought that was quite unusual. You've got people on your team who are experts in Marketo. They are experts in designing campaigns. They are experts in inbound marketing, experts in all these different areas. And it was amazing. Like it sped our time to getting programs up and running and successful by, I couldn't even tell you how much. So it was a really great experience. I'd also tell them they better get Debbie and Bruce to be a part of the project, because you guys are awesome. Like, you're really awesome. And you were able to understand and comprehend our business. It's not an easy business to understand. And you're right, my team is eager and they're very hungry, and they're the hardest working team I've ever had the pleasure to be with. But what we're doing is really difficult. And unless you've been through it, it's hard to do it on your own. It's almost impossible to do it on your own. And so you played this invaluable role to take this eager, smart team and show them how it needs to be as we go forward. And they've just eaten it up. And I tell the team that marketing is a funny discipline. You learn marketing almost as an apprentice. So if you're lucky enough to work for a company that's good at marketing, you'll learn some great skills. If you're lucky enough to work for a manager who's really, really good at different aspects of marketing, you learn great skills. But if you don't have that luxury, it's really difficult to learn the best way to do marketing today. And of course, it changes so fast. And so I told everybody, you just got an MBA in marketing. You just got an advanced degree, and it's hugely important. And it's not the sort of thing that you get in most places.
Absolutely true. And again, it was really our pleasure. You were a fantastic leader. You had a great team. And I think that day in and day out, that's when we can partner with somebody, and when you create that kind of partnership, and when you are as invested in the client as the client is invested in you, that's really what sets everybody up for success. So any final comments, Kevin?
No, just that I've been so impressed with this process and the way that things worked. It was better than I thought it would be, frankly. And, and we had a pretty aggressive list of, things we wanted to accomplish over this 6-month period. And we went through the list today. We're pretty much through everything. And it wasn't just checking off the list. It was big. It was a very big list.
Well,
yeah, but it was, it was great. And I guess everyone, every CMO, the thing I would say to other CMOs is you need a secret weapon. Like, you need a secret weapon in your corner to help you achieve the things that you need to achieve. And if you think you've got to do it alone, you're making a mistake. And, finding the right people who can come in and help you succeed is really one of the things that's going to make or break you, especially in a difficult situation. So you were that for me. You were my secret weapon. You were my private guide to help me through the process. And so for that, I'll be forever grateful.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And again, it's just a pleasure to work with you guys. And thank you for the interview. We really appreciate it.
All right. My pleasure.